Today is April 8th, 2025. My name is Melissa Ackerman, and I will be interviewing Robin Sachs for our Jewish Family Service Past President compilation. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
So how did you get involved with JFS?
Well, I guess everything starts with a phone call. And I got a phone call from an art director that I worked with at American Airlines. And I've been a commercial photographer for 40 years. That was my career. And he called me up and he said, would you mind doing a pro bono ad campaign for a nonprofit? And we're going to enter these concepts and these ads into a New York art director's contest. And I said, oh, sure. So I like working with this art director, and I was thrilled to get an award if that happened. And it turned out to be Jewish Family Service. And the ads that we shot were in my studio, which was in Deep Ellum at the time. And one was for home-delivered meals, and the other was for mental health services for the elderly. And it really touched my heart, and I got to know the people that were working at JFS, and then I got a phone call from Jim Green, who was head of the marketing committee at Jewish Family Service, and said, would you like to join the marketing committee? And I said, well, let me think about it. And I didn't think long, and I joined Jim Green, and Joel Lippman was on the committee, and it was just a great committee. And so I was on that committee and went from committee to board to da-da-da-da-da-da, and so on.
So when did you serve as president?
I served as president 2008 to 2010.
Okay, but you were on the board for many years leading up to that.
I was vice president, I chaired a bunch of committees, I was treasurer, yeah.
Did you know about JFS before you were asked to do the pro bono work?
Not one bit.
And
not at all.
You were from Dallas, right?
I was. Yes, okay. I am from Dallas. My father was born here, and my grandfather actually came when he was about 14 years old. So we're Dallasites.
Okay. So what was your title during your tenure?
I was president of the board.
Okay. And who were the various leaders during your time?
Oh, we had great leaders at JFS. We still do. But at that time, they were wonderful as well. We had Bill Roth, Joel Lippman, Ethel Zale, Linda Garner, of course Michael Fleischer, who was director. We had Cheryl Halprin. We had wonderful, wonderful leaders who also became presidents and who I followed and then followed me. And it was just a great group of people.
How have Jewish Family Services programs and services evolved to meet the community's needs?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, JFS has wraparound services, which means that, and that was always what we said.
What does that mean?
That means that if you come to the food pantry and you need food because you're out of a job and your family's stressed out, we have all the needs to help you out. We have the food pantry. We have clinical services for you, for your children. We have career and employment services. Now we have medical clinics. I mean, JFS is the full wraparound service for needs. And for a while at JFS, we were one of the few agencies in town where you could get free mental health services. So that was really important during my time.
So free or sliding scale or whatever.
Right.
You're not going to turn somebody away because they can't pay.
Right.
Okay. What were some of the memorable moments that you know of from the past 75 years? I know you haven't been around that long.
At the agency. Well, gosh, I've been involved with the agency for probably 35 years.
So what are some of the things that come to mind?
Well, moving from the Coit office to the current office, the current building, which was an old Montgomery Ward tire car building. That was the first big move. Then also starting the foundation. I was very involved in helping to start the JFS Foundation. Some of the others, moving into the new building that we're moving into. Having Kathy Barker as our executive director was a big move. Some of the great memories of 75 years that I've experienced over my 35, working with great boards, great leadership, great staff. I mean, I loved working at JFS as the board president and representing the agency and working with everyone that I met. I met so many people.
Have you stayed involved?
Yes.
What are you doing now?
I'm on the foundation board, and I'm just about to roll off the foundation board, and it'll be the first time I haven't been on a JFS board or committee in a very long time.
Don't say that too loud.
So they tell me that they're going to bring me back on the nominating committee next year. I was chair of that this year.
Okay.
And my husband and I started a fund at Jewish Family Service at the foundation.
What does it do?
It's called the Sachs Fund for Services to the Elderly. Basically what happened is my mom lived in Dallas, and I saw what it took to take care of an elderly parent that needed help. And my mom had the wherewithal, and we had the wherewithal to give her what she needed. But we were quite fortunate, and not everybody's so fortunate. And so my husband and I saw that, and we thought, well, what better place to start this fund than at the foundation that I helped to start at JFS.
What kind of things will it help with?
Services to the indigent elderly, mental health services, help paying bills for the elderly. JFS has so many different programs just within that one umbrella.
Who were some of the key staff that you worked with over the years?
Oh my gosh. I worked with, besides Michael Fleischer, who was all heart, I worked with Ariel Goldstein, I worked with Janice Dworkis in marketing, I worked with Janine Pullman in volunteerism, I worked with Amy Walton in marketing, who was just wonderful. I worked with Bill Roth, who was the president just before me, and Todd Shannon, who was the president that followed me. I worked with the great board. I worked with Karen Hout, Michael's assistant, and Clara Linetsky, the treasurer. I mean, yeah.
What was the compilation of the board? Were there non-Jewish people participating on the board at your time? I know that was a gradual thing.
Yes.
That the board's changed over to have representation, across all different kinds of lines.
Yes. Well, it was always, Michael Fleischer and I talked about this, it was always our thought that the agency should be like the Jewish hospital in New York, where you have Jewish values, but you take care of everybody. And that's how I've always felt about JFS. And so we started taking care of everybody, whether it was for domestic violence or the food pantry. And that branched out to representation on the board. And during that time, we really made an effort to ask and attract people who weren't part of the Jewish community and bring them on the board to get more and different input.
How do you find different people that are suitable?
Well, asking board members, connecting board members. I mean, board members at JFS were connected not only in our community, but in other communities. For example, Cheryl Halpern was part of Mary Kay. And we just have long tentacles in the community at large. And so, who do you know? Who would be good for this? Who's rolling off another board that you know of, that you're on, that might feed into our board and be a good add? So we were looking for people that weren't Jewish to add to our board, and we did it. It was a smaller percentage at first, but it was a really designated effort.
Okay. What significant local, national, or international events had an effect on your era?
Oh my gosh. So in 2007, President Obama was elected, which means that gay rights and marriage rights for gay people got approved during his administration. But more importantly, we had the huge financial crisis that happened, the subprime lending, Lehman Brothers went under, everybody, there was a bailout of everything, the car dealerships, everybody. And it was really scary and tough to make sure that we could take care of the people that needed to be taken care of and to keep staff too. So I learned a lot about fundraising.
Did you have to lay off a lot of staff at that point?
We tried not to. We tried not to lay off anybody.
Who were some of the prominent community supporters of Jewish Family Service?
Oh gosh, such great. I'm still friendly with them.
Donors, philanthropists, and volunteers.
Ethel Zale. She's our queen. Linda Garner, Berta Getz, Terry and Bert Romberg, DJ and Les Weisbrod, the Ackermans, so many. I mean,
JFS does have a lot of
we had at that time, and even more now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many people who care about the agency, and it's just growing.
It's great. What changes did you experience in the Dallas Jewish community over the years?
The needs got greater. We saw needs for more mental health services for children. We saw needs for more domestic violence. You don't think this is happening in the Jewish community, but it does. And just needs across the board grew. What we did change is we let go of our adoption program several years ago. Maybe it was during my administration or right when I came on board. We decided that's not what we needed. But of course they have a fertility program there now, Priya.
Yes. Were there some other programs that have come and gone that?
Come and gone. I mean, some programs, yes. There was one about a middle school program in the DISD about weaving women. I can't remember the name of the program, but it was a middle school program. Of course, special needs started right around that time. Louis Zweig was very helpful in that process. That started during my time, and the Klein internship program started, and Eric Goldberg was very helpful with that. And yeah. Oh, another thing that happened during the JFS that I recall during the 75 years, I guess, is Woman to Woman started.
Well, tell me about that.
Oh, it's a wonderful, it was a wonderful fundraiser. The first one was at Susan Dell's house. Well, Susan Dell was the speaker, it wasn't at her home, but she was this first speaker outdoors, and I think it was at the Barron's house. And it was just phenomenal, and it was the brainchild of Ethel Zale and Linda Garner, an amazing duo. And every other year we would have a different Woman to Woman. And my year, we were looking for a speaker, and of course we didn't want to spend any money.
Of course.
And I talked to Jim Gold, who at that time was in New York at Bergdorf, and he's in Dallas now, but I knew Jim through his parents, and we have connections. And we asked him to talk to Diane von Furstenberg, and so Jim helped us get Diane, and she was very generous in coming down here for no pay. And she was a wonderful guest speaker and brought in a whole lot of not necessarily part of the Jewish community. So a whole wider audience attended that Woman to Woman, and it's grown ever since.
Who were some of the other speakers that had been?
Let me think some of the other speakers.
Bette Midler.
Bette Midler, she was amazing. Who was the woman on The View?
Joy Behar.
Yes, she was there. You have a better memory than I do.
I've been to all but the first one.
Anyway, it's just been great.
Okay, and it's grown.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What were some initiatives to increase interest in Jewish Family Service and its mission over the years?
What services?
Initiatives.
Definitely the Special Needs Initiative that that started in the Jewish day schools primarily. And of course we brought in the first community chaplain, which started really toward the end of Bill's tenure, and then right before, or right about the time I took over, that's when Rabbi Woke came on board. And he's amazing, he's wonderful. And so the chaplaincy program came on. Let me think what else happened. Those were major things. Plan came on later.
Tell me a little bit about Plan.
Plan is we adopted Plan.
What does that stand for? Well, just tell me who it services.
It's really about services for mental health and children that there's a planned play group and food services, and it's a whole nother adjunct of JFS that we've taken under our wing. So,
Okay.
but that was really after my tenure.
Okay. In relation to your time at JFS, what are you most proud?
First of all, I'm very proud to have helped to grow the agency. I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of my tenure on the boards. I'm proud to have helped raise money with Diane von Furstenberg at Woman to Woman. I'm proud of the initiatives that we started. I'm just proud to have been a part of JFS. I mean, Kathy Barker came in just about the time that I was leaving and Todd was coming on. So I'm glad that Kathy Barker came on. She wasn't director at that time, but we knew how amazing she was.
Was she COO at that point?
She was she was Chief Operating Officer.
Okay.
She was, and Michael was CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, one of those things is Kathy should have taken over right after Michael.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
okay.
let's not go there.
What is something about Jewish Family Service that is not commonly known that you want the community to know and understand?
Well, I think I mentioned to you that sometimes, and especially during COVID or during Katrina or Hurricane Ike or whenever there's been a disaster, JFS is there. And sometimes it happens, even with a personal disaster in a family, it happens where, I mentioned to you when we spoke before that sometimes our donors become our clients. And sometimes our clients then later become donors. And that's an amazing thing. It's kind of full circle, and I love that. I think JFS for the longest time was the best kept secret in Dallas. I think that's so far gone. I think we've made so many strides since that particular moniker that I think we're in a wholly different place now and going forward. And the needs are greater, and the agency has flexed with the needs always. It's never been, I like to say JFS, it's never been business as usual at JFS. It's always flexing to meet whatever the needs are in the community, the Jewish community and more.
What do you think about the whole new medical clinic?
Oh, I think it's amazing. I think it's an amazing initiative. I think it's another way to have income for the agency. I think it takes our wraparound services and makes them even broader. And I'm thrilled about it and excited to see what's going to happen.
Are there any other things that you want to say about JFS that I might not have touched on today?
Yes, really good questions. No, I think we've covered it, but thank you so much for interviewing me.
Thank you so much for coming in. I've really enjoyed it.